Hi guys, welcome back. It's day 7, Thursday morning. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know, we still got 7 more days to go here, and hit that notification button so when the next video comes tomorrow for day 8, you guys will get notified. I've been getting a lot of questions about kind of the equipment we use, like where I got my racks, these fans, the lights. So I'll put a link in all the descriptions below that'll take you guys to a page where we get our equipment and that. So it'll be easy for you guys to find the exact equipment we have. And so Thursday now, we're on day 7, it's Thursday morning. We gotta plant our radish and our broccoli. We gotta unstack our Monday harvest, our radish, broccoli in place under lights. So I'll show you guys that here. If you haven't downloaded this already, I recommend you do. Then you can follow along with me each day. So I'll give you a quick update on the grow room. The heater shut off last night, I'm not sure why. It didn't trip the breaker or anything. Must have been, could be because it got so hot in here. You can see the high was 91 degrees Fahrenheit, the low was 63, right now we're at 68, and the humidity, the high was 38, low was 25, and now we're at 37, so everything's looking really good. You can definitely tell the radish really like the warmer temperatures. If I pull it out here, you gotta be careful because these bricks are almost falling off already. I'll get this camera set up so you guys can see that. You can see how it's pretty much pushing that, like the bricks pretty much right off, ready to fall off. So that's how I guess you know they want to be unstacked. So we'll unstack the radish and the broccoli and water those. And put those under the lights. And just put this grow sheet somewhere. So they're looking really good. I'll actually make sure you guys can see this good. So really happy with how the radish, these 3 trays turned out. See if I can zoom out for you guys, there you go. So it's really, you know, they look really good. There's good even germination. I don't see any mold issues so far. So with the radish, for the very first water, actually top water them just for the first one, and then we bottom water the rest of the grow cycle. Find it's almost impossible to get the kind of like the foliage in that of the radish dry, and it'll really reduce your shelf life. So how we do it is the very first watering, just to kind of clean them up a bit, you know, any dirt or anything like that off them. We'll do a top watering, and every watering after that is just the bottom watering. And we definitely try not to water at least 12 hours, even 18 hours before we harvest. So I'll talk to you guys more about that when we get ready to harvest these, but give them a quick water. And put these under the see if I can move this a bit, maybe for you guys, you can see more what's all going on. Next, we'll check out the broccoli, see how that's doing. It's definitely not as extreme, trying to push the bricks off or anything like that. As you can see, it's, you know, it's coming out over the sides of the tray there. Kind of, that's what I look for. If it's kind of poking out that ½ inch, it's usually ready to be unstacked. So far, this broccoli is looking really good for this first tray. Yeah, so with the broccoli as well, really happy with how this is turning out. See if I can get all 3 trays for you guys. Look really good so far. So we'll bottom water the broccoli. Just move my camera. the broccoli bottom water the whole way through. So what I do, I just lift this tray up. So you got these ones with the holes, and then no holes. If you can see, our tray has like these little kind of ridges in there. I just try to fill it up till the water just covers those ridges. So there's not too much water in here. So you can see the water's, you know, not all the ridges are covered, but it's pretty close. Then just let that soak in for a bit. So one thing we do, if you look at our grow rack, is you'll see we have our radish right here, and it's actually a taller crop than the broccoli. So we got this fan over here, and what I found helps is we'll put the broccoli here just so this fan can blow air right over the canopy of the broccoli, kind of to help get better airflow. If you put your radish here and then your broccoli, I found like the radish will just get taller, so you won't have as good airflow over your shorter broccoli crop. It's just it's a little thing we do that seems to help with our crops. So I don't know if you guys can use that in your system, but definitely a nice feeling once you start to get some of the crops on your shelves instead of just having empty shelves. So I'll turn this fan on, and now we got our sunflower. So you can see how they're starting to kind of move those bricks as well. Like those trays are pretty uneven. I would like to see them a little bit taller. I mean, they are sticking up a bit. It's not going to be too much of a problem to unstack them, but I'll actually probably use a couple lids and I'll put on top of them just to block them out a little bit more. So when I'll water them, then I'll put the lid over top, and then what they'll try to do is they'll grow a little bit taller because they're trying to reach for the light. So that should help them grow a little bit taller. So I'm really happy with, you know, how the sunflower's looking as well. Nice even germination. There's already, you know, not too many hulls on there. You can tell they've been popping off. So what I'll do is I'll give them a top water and then just put the lids on them over top just to try to get them to, you know, grow a little taller. If you guys haven't, I recommend, you know, downloading the grow guide for each one of these crops. Kind of all this information that I'm talking about in these videos we've written out on those guides, so you guys can just have them in your grow room and just reference them. So then what I'll do here is just set these on there the best I can. Whoops. Hit one of our bricks there on the ground. So if I can go back a bit, now you can see, I guess we can water our peas. I didn't show you guys those yet. Good thing I'm filming. So our peas are looking really good. They've greened up actually quite a bit in the last 24 hours. You guys remember the last video when we unstacked them? They were all pretty yellow. They're looking really good. Really happy with how they are so far. So we'll give them a top watering. I'm going to show you guys the roots of these. You know, they're all still nice and really white, so I'm happy with that. Just put these back up on the shelf. There's some with the camera so you guys can see that. So what I'll do now is, I guess I'll just show you. So we got the sunflower, or the peas on the top left. We got the sunflower kind of in more blackout for 24 hours or so, just to try to get them to grow a little taller. And we got our broccoli, and then we got our radish. So it'll be exciting to watch all these crops, how quickly the radish and the broccoli shoot up here. What I'll do now is I'll just clean this up, get these bricks out of here so I don't trip on them again. And I'll bring the trays and our soil and everything in and get set up to plant our radish and broccoli, so I can show you guys that again. Talk to you in a bit. Hi guys, so I forgot to do one thing. I'll actually give you an update on the pea and sunflower we planted. It would have been, I guess this will be a 36-hour update. So last evening would have been a 24-hour update. What I'll do is, I guess each morning we'll just go on 36 hours in a different cycle than last time. So there's not too much action yet on the peas after 36 hours. A little bit, I guess. You can see all the, the radicals coming out, kind of reaching into the dirt, getting their root system established. See if there's any roots at the bottom here. So, as you can see, there's no roots. I guess there's a couple at the very top there coming through. Everything's looking good, happy with that. Cover these back up and then I'll grab the sunflower. Here's the sunflower after 36 hours. So you can see all their little radicals are reaching into the dirt, and see if there's any roots. So when I'm actually growing these, like in the midst of our season, I don't take the lid off or check on them until we unstack them. Kind of how I guess we do it. I don't mist them or anything like that. I just leave them covered up, sitting there until they're kind of poking out how they were earlier today. And then that's when I'll unstack them. I just prefer, I guess, not to really disturb them. So it's completely fine if you guys just leave them there. At least we find it is. So now that that's covered up, put that back on the rack. And I'll talk to you guys once we get our soil and everything all set up. We'll talk to you then. Hi guys, so I got my soil sifter set up here. You can see it's just kind of like deck board and some 2x4s with 1/4 inch kind of I believe it's chicken wire or chicken mesh. So I'll just set that on top of our kind of the lid of the bucket. You can see our bin's pretty much empty of soil. So what I'll do now is I'll just sift some soil, show you guys that, fill this back up, and then we'll get some soil in our trays. See how big this is like a solid chunk. It breaks apart pretty easily, but it's definitely not a nice fluffy material to plant seeds in, like your small seeds like radish and broccoli. So same as before, just kind of move it over with your hands. And like last time, lots of, like little that'll come into focus, little twigs like this. Can't get to come into focus, but yeah, you wouldn't want those like twigs or anything like that on, your soil to reduce your germination rates. So what I'll do now is I'll fill this right up with soil. As you guys seen it once, there's not much to show you, and then once I have all my trays laid out, we'll get some dirt in the trays and plant our radish and our broccoli. So talk to you guys then. Hi guys, so I got all our soil sifted now. You can see how this, it's nice and fluffy. It's easy to work with. There's no big chunks or anything like that, so it's looking really good. I like that. If I didn't mention it earlier, this is the soil we're using. So it's this Pro Mix all-purpose mix. I know I kind of talked about it in probably day number 2 video, why I like this soil, but just to kind of recap it, it's by a big company, it's pathogen tested. I can get it pretty much year round from Canadian Tire, Home Depot. Those are the main things. It's relatively cheap, it's readily available, you can get it year round, and it's tested for pathogens, and it's great to work with. I've had some other soils, kind of like an organic mix that holds a little more moisture, and it's been tough with broccoli and the radish, kind of the smaller seeds, not to overwater it. So this is the best I've found so far, and if that changes, I'll be sure to let you guys know. So for the going forward, what I think I'll do for the rest of this series is I'll try to plant maybe just 1 tray of radish and broccoli and sunflowers and peas, just because if I keep doing 3 trays, I'm not sure how I'll be able to move it all. There's only so much microgreens I can give away to family and friends and eat myself. So how I do it is I really like the peas and sunflower and broccoli kind of in a mix and throw that all in my smoothies in the morning. And then, on sandwiches and everything else, but mostly in smoothies is how I eat it. So I'll get the camera set up at a different angle, and then we'll show you guys just putting the soil in the trays and everything. So once again, it's a 10-20 tray with holes on top of a 10-20 tray. These are the shallow ones with no holes. You set like that, as you've seen earlier, so we can bottom water. So get the camera set up at a different angle here and show you guys putting soil in there and all that. Okay, so I'll get my soil scoop here, and it's 3 liters of soil in each one of these trays, and then just kind of level it out with our hands, and then use the soil press to press it down, and then we'll water it. So I know I mentioned in a previous video that I would kind of wet them and then I would use a soil tamper after, just for that smaller seed. But how our broccoli and radish looked, it didn't really make much of a difference, so I'll just water them again. And now what I'll do is so you can see, they're nice, and this is kind of like the area I was worried about. Like, would we have problems with the smaller seed in that? But we didn't have any issues, so won't worry about that. Now I'll go get the broccoli and radish seed and get set up to weigh those, and I'll get the spray bottle to mist it. Talk to you guys in a bit. So I got our scale set up. I'll measure out our broccoli. So for one tray of broccoli, we'll do around 40 grams. 42, that'll work. And then for one tray of radish, we'll do around 60. So I just had some radish seed stuck in the container, so just knock that out onto the tray that we'll plant that in. So 60 grams. So 63, I'm happy with that. And then now what I'll do is I'll actually just set this back up how we had it when I was putting the soil in. I think that'll be a good angle to show you guys the planting of it. So start with the radish first. Let's move these that way a little bit. You can see how that looks. That's pretty nice. It's not like I mentioned before with the other trays, it's not perfect, but it's not too, it'll be good enough to get a nice looking tray. So I'll just put the lid on. See if I can move this over, you guys can see put the lid on for this broccoli. So I just use one of these little shakers again like last time, and then just here's the broccoli. Might be a little hard to see, the seeds are so dark against the soil. And then here's our tray of radish. So, little clumps like that, you might want to try to move away. But I find it super hard to move it with your fingers. You kind of just make a mess. So try not to touch it, but it's something, I wouldn't fret over it if it does happen, but if it is something you want to try to avoid. We just take our spray bottle, and we just mist them. Bottle's running a little low on water here, so making it a little difficult to. I think what I'll actually do is I'll fill this bottle up and finish misting these. I mean, you guys saw that, and then I'll show you what the seeds look like once we're done misting them, and then we'll put them on the racks to germinate. Okay, so now these are done being misted. So if you can see the radish seed, you can see it's quite a bit darker than it was before. Just kind of has some moisture sitting on the seeds. And then there's the broccoli seed. So what I'll do now is I'll just extend my tripod here. And I'll show you, I actually got to go grab some 2 tray lids. So I will quickly grab 2 tray lids, and then we'll put some bricks on them. So same thing, 10-20 tray, no holes. Just set that on top. 10-20 tray, no holes for the radish as well. And then just 3 bricks on each one, so that'll be, they're each a 5-pound brick, so that'll be 15 pounds on it. And then just put them on the racks. Make sure that the trays, it's not up on a lip or anything. You want that top tray to be pressing the seeds kind of into the soil. So that'll wrap it up for today's video. It's a little bit of a longer one, but we've got a lot of stuff done today. And stacking the crops, watering those, and our 36-hour update on the pea and sunflower, and then planting our radish and broccoli. So I've never actually just planted 1 tray of radish and broccoli before like that. I always go in increments of 3, kind of 3 and then 6. So kind of explain that more, I guess. I'll do a kind of how we run our subscription service in our business for microgreens, but basically we just track our yields and then how many orders we have, and then if it's going to be like 1 more tray, we'll always bump it up to 3, so we kind of always have a buffer, and then that buffer is what we eat for our personal consumption. But so I'm pretty excited actually to see how just planting 1 tray works. I've never done that, and yeah, so we'll talk to you guys I guess tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow will be. Tomorrow will be day 8. Be a pretty quiet day. We're going to sanitize and soak our peas again. So we'll do that, and I guess if you guys haven't, try to give me better lighting for you. If you guys haven't, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you guys get notified when the next video comes live. Thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm pretty active in there. Be happy to help you guys, grow more microgreens. Talk to you guys later.